Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Josephine and on this channel we talk about fragrances. Today's video is all you need to know before you purchase Kalan by Parfums de Marly. So with these must-know videos, what I try to do is give you some key facts about a perfume, so hopefully this can help you and guide you through a purchase decision. So today is all about Kalan by Parfums de Marly. If you'd like to know more about this fragrance, then please keep watching. So Kalan is one of the newer releases by niche brand Parfums de Marly. So this fragrance comes in a beautiful fiery red bottle, and I have to say the packaging is stunning. It is really eye-catching and just would sit perfectly on a vanity table or wherever you store your fragrances. It is beautiful. The first thing that you need to know is Kalan is the most polarizing and controversial fragrance from Parfums de Marly. So what do I mean by this is Parfums de Marly is a niche brand that do fragrances which are not too complicated to understand. They have a very mass appealing designer type of DNA, but with niche quality. Now, Kalan feels more niche. This scent isn't your typical easygoing, likable fragrance. You need to work with it a little bit. So that is why I mean by it is polarizing, and I think there'll be varying views as to whether people like it or hate it. I think this fragrance, you either love it or you really dislike it. There's not really an in-between. So why is this fragrance ultimately so polarizing? Well, the juice is a very strange mishmash of ingredients that really creates something that is sort of awkward, especially in the opening. It's just very weird. There's ingredients that are thrown in there and it doesn't blend in a smooth way. So it opens with a very harsh and spicy, really pungent green type of aromatic freshness that is reminiscent of basil, but there's no basil in here per se, and it is blended with lavender. So you get this really sharp greenness in the beginning that is also quite spicy. And then it develops this really earthy, soil-like character that again is very odd, and it just blends very strangely with the top notes. It just feels out of place, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. It feels out of place. You get sort of like a wet soil feel, feels a bit dirty, and then it gets weirder because then it develops a sort of a sweet character, almost like cotton candy, fluffy cotton candy feel, which you really totally wouldn't expect in a fragrance like this. So it's very strange. It's spicy, it's woodsy, it's green, a little bit sweet. You don't really know what you're smelling, to be fair, and your mind is probably going in all different directions. There is blood orange in this fragrance. However, I do not smell blood orange to me in this perfume. It isn't citrusy to my nose, but there is a sweetness which could come from the blood orange. So despite the awkward sweetness of this perfume, which frankly has a vague resemblance to Becca Rouge 540 by Maison Francis Kurkdjian, this perfume, Kalan, is a very masculine scent. I do not find that women would particularly enjoy this scent to wear for themselves. This is for sure more of a masculine fragrance. Number 2, Kalan is not by any means a clone for Becca Rouge 540 by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. It just isn't. Get that idea out of your head right now. I have been reading reviews on Fragrantica. There's so many comparisons to Becca Rouge 540. It is such a different fragrance. Now, what I did mention earlier in point number 1 was there is a sweetness in Kalan that is reminiscent of the sweetness of Becca Rouge 540, this fluffy cotton candy feel that is common to both perfumes, but completely different effect, completely different olfactive territory, and you just can't compare them. So get that out of your head right now. This is not a Becca Rouge 540 dupe. Number 3, the dry down of this perfume is so much better than the opening. And actually in the dry down, all this like soil-like sort of almost dirty feel and this awkward mishmash of ingredients goes away. It develops into a very musky skin type of fragrance, but with a very strong projection. And actually the dry down is very linear. It will stay like this for a while. There's a little bit of sweetness, but frankly, it turns into a musky skin-like type of scent. I definitely find that this muskiness is much more pleasant than the opening. You get a bit of a woody, ambery tone, which probably has a bit of ISO-E super in there as well, which probably gives this perfume a more agreeable character in my opinion. But yeah, just be aware that this will dry down very musky and will have more of a skin scent type of feel, but with still very good projection. Which leads me onto my next point. Kalan has a fantastic performance. Wow, so the projection is phenomenal, just like incredible. This is a monster when it comes to projection, and it will stay on your skin for a very long time. So if this is something that is important to you, then it is definitely a 10 out of 10 in terms of performance. It will do very well. And the final point, number 5, is Kalan is a challenging scent. I think you would have picked up on that in this review. It isn't your typical easygoing, woodsy, spicy, fresh perfume for men. It is definitely a fragrance I think that can be appreciated by people who are really neck deep into niche. To give you a bit of context, when I first sprayed this fragrance, I really despised it. I thought it was the worst thing that I smelled. It was just terrible. And actually, as I worked with it a little bit and I tested it on my skin, I sort of gravitated towards it a little bit more. Is it my favorite Parfums de Marly fragrance? No. Is it a fragrance that people could enjoy? Yes, potentially. But again, this is one that you definitely want to test. Do not, whatever you do not blind buy Kalan. Just don't. I think that would be a mistake because I think there's a 50-50 chance that you would enjoy this fragrance. So that was it for today's video. I hope you found it useful. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried Kalan and what your thoughts are on this fragrance. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!